disarmament stuff and worked economic issues. Did a little bit of environmental issues in Greece, where I was an economic officer for the Department of State in the embassy there. That was more kind of gas pipeline type of issues. So really kind of caught the bug for working in the environmental sector through the lens of a government foreign service officer. Came back to the U.S., did a complete career pivot, and went into solar, where I've been since 2017.
Yeah, that is a
it's a huge pivot. Yeah, the government in the State Department, it was really a personal decision just based off family. I had kids at the time, young kids, where I didn't in the beginning of my career. And in that job, every 2 or 3 years, you're moving from one country to another. Sometimes you're going places where your kids can't go, like Iraq, Afghanistan, that kind of stuff. So yeah. I had been interested in solar. I had some solar in Greece, and just kind of did a complete pivot into sales. Yeah. Working for a company called Enphase Energy, where I continue to work today. And what Enphase Energy does is, we're really specialized in residential solar. We also do small commercial solar. We do backup battery systems, which is really relevant, in hurricane areas. And then we do EV chargers, which is just a sector that's, just taking off with EVs becoming more and more prominent. And I've been doing it for about 7 years now. And, I love it. I think it makes an impact. The sales world and the policy world are actually kind of similar because it's all about relationship building, right? And so I found that to be, a pretty easy transition. But I do miss kind of the public service aspect that the government had, and so when I saw this announcement, I was like, gee, if there's anything that I feel like I can help this community with, it's, making decisions related to those 3 sectors that I just talked about, residential and commercial solar, backup systems, from a storm mitigation, quality of life perspective, and then electronic vehicle infrastructure. And, I really want to make sure that, as a part of this community, I've been here since 2017. I actually moved here with Enphase. I want to make sure that as this community makes decisions related to green energy, that they're positioned best to make the right ones. And I've just been doing this for a really long time, and it's one of the areas where I think I can actually really make an impact. If there's a negotiation or a decision that needs to be made about anything related to those areas, I feel that my experience in the industry, my connections, not just at a national level, but at the local level, because I've worked kind of the Carolinas specific markets for such a long time, that I can actually make a difference and make sure that the taxpayer money is used in the right way, make sure that anything we're evaluating and agree to is sound. So I think I can actually do a lot of good as an advisor in this kind of sector.
All right. Do you have any?
Go ahead.
I guess, the committee, have you ever watched a committee meeting, or anything about the committee?
I've watched some meetings. It's been a while, but I have for the hot button issues.
So the committee is, as you probably know, is more of an advisory committee to the council. So they come forward with some ideas or projects and stuff, and the council makes ultimate decisions. So what expectations would you have as being part of that committee of how you would get things done or what you could get done?
Yeah, my expectation is to, deeply understand the issues and then advise the council to, make the decision that I think is best. If I wanted a council position, I'd run for that. And that's not really what I want. I kind of want to really deeply focus on a single area where I think I can have the greatest impact. Get to know, the council members so that they know me and kind of know what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, where I have experience and where I don't. And then, through that, kind of give them, my feedback.
So, you may have answered this again, but I want to maybe he give you a chance to elaborate on it.
Yeah.
But if there's a pet project, something really that you would want to see and focus on getting done as part of this environmental committee, because you may know that they're pretty broad focus. They're divided into different subgroups, and, litter, climate change is one, wildlife is another. So they cover a wide spectrum of what you'd consider environmental,
Sure.
issues. If there's a pet project or a pet accomplishment that you would want to see get done, I assume it's around solar, but can you maybe elaborate?
Sure, yeah.
If you could, at the end of this thing, if you could, what would you want to get done?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, being that my expertise is in solar, it would be in some sort of having the island have some sort of flagship solar plus battery storage project. Could be on this building. It could be on, one of the buildings that the community owns.
As backup energy, you're saying, or primary, or?
Backup.
Backup, yeah.
Backup, yeah. So that when the next hurricane comes through and we lose power,
Right.
which happened
Yeah.
to all of us about a week ago, the building in question has backup power, but it's clean backup power. It's not burning fuel.
Yeah.
And then it's also, a net, potentially close to a net zero building, which means there's no electric bill, right? Which, and the reason for that is because the solar on the roof of this building, as an example, is generating its own power during the day and then storing it at night, and then at night using that stored energy to offset the electrical consumption. And so I think, as it relates to climate change, certainly one of the best ways to reduce emissions is by generating, clean, sustainable power. And so I think a project like that would be really great for the community. And there's lots of interesting things you could do about, you could have, a portal or a kiosk where the community members can learn more about solar and how, what the local government here is doing to become, more sustainable.
Okay. All right.
I mean, just one question, I'm just trying to think of something. I mean, there's really not a lot to ask. John covered a
Yeah.
lot of it. And not that the environmental committee takes up too much time, but like you're still working.
Yeah.
You mentioned you have kids. I mean,
Yep.
do you have, I don't know how to word this, but
Do I have time?
the time, I appreciate
Yeah,
everybody
sure.
volunteering their time. So obviously, everybody who comes here has good intentions and wants
Yeah.
to help, so.
Yeah, I work from home.
Okay, well, there you go.
I work from home, so I'm here.
Yeah,
My wife works from home. I do have 3 little ones. They're all at SIS.
nice,
But yeah, I travel some, but
Yeah.
not
yeah,
hugely.
yeah, not like.
And I make my own
moments.
schedule, so
Yeah.
I can block off my calendar for something like this.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
cool.
They meet once a month for
Yeah, that's what I
hours,
saw.
so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not too much.
All right.
I think it's good.
Well, again, thanks for having interest in the
Yeah.
committee.
Yeah, absolutely.
We really appreciate that.
Thanks for
And,
your consideration.
I know that, like I said, we'll probably delay this decision off till a November meeting. Then we'll-
Sounds good.
We'll get back with
Yeah,
you.
all right. Well, nice
right.
meeting both of you.
All right, have a great
Appreciate it,
day.
Eric.
Yeah, have a
Thank
great
you.
one. Yeah, thank you.
So,
That agenda says the next meeting's November 5th, and that's election day.
yeah.
Desiree's
I
already
think-
sent out emails to the other committees about picking.
Yeah, we'll have to reschedule. I would suggest we do it on that Wednesday, maybe the 6th instead of that. Are you?
Let me, hold on, sorry. I'll just pull up my calendar.
Or if you want, we can
November
just
6th.
email it.
Yeah, no, that should
You're
work.
good?
Yep,
Why don't we just say that's on
Okay.
1 o'clock on the 6th, Nicole,
Okay,
for now.
and see what she, see if
And
that
see-
person that's
yeah.
missing can show up that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, we could probably have
Yeah,
some flexibility.
if there's a day that
on
works better.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Being no further business, I make a motion that